Namaskar, dear devotees and friends, and good morning. So, like every month, this month also, the first Saturday, we'll be studying the KapilaUpadesha. This is our fragrance of Vedanta. That is we are continuing for a few years. We are continuing the same with different scripture we are reading. And these are very, very choice, very, very important scriptures. The KapilaUpadesha, very few people, they will study it. They won't know about it. Because this is in the Bhagavata, but it has been separated because of its importance. The one Kapila, that Muni, is giving the advice to his mother. And it is purely on Vedanta. So before you start, let us begin with this mantra. Yasya smarana matrena janma samsara bandhanat vimuchyate namastashmai Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. Now we have already, few classes we have already explained how the first marriage, the human marriage, and then the first human, that is Kapila. And he is the Lord Vishnu. The Vishnu has come in the form of a Kapila. And why? Every time the Lord comes as a purpose. What is this purpose this time? Philosophy. He said to his father, Kardama Muni, that I like to take the human form, I like to born as your son to establish a philosophy. Now that was the very primary condition of the human society and civilization growing up, and almost all of the people, they were highly spiritual, and that is the time the Lord is coming down to give a philosophy. Why one should go for realization of God or the Brahman? What is the relationship between the creator and the creation, etc. So the beautiful philosophy that he gave, and afterwards many other philosophies developed on that. So this is the way it continued. And now the Kapila, before Kapila was born, there were 9 sisters. They got married. Then the Kapila, that son, when he was born, his father, who had a contract with the Lord Vishnu, that moment you take form, I will leave for practicing meditation. Because in those days, the mind was constantly going back to the Supreme Self, because that was the source of joy. And everyone wants to get the joy. So they wanted to have that. After the Kapila was born, his father once took him aside and said, the son, I know you are Lord Vishnu, and you promised me that when you take human form, you will allow me to go and practice meditation. Friends, here also we find that those who are in the household, they also have that capacity, because this is the desire. The I was in the household, I was a father, I was a mother, I had to do all this. Now I am withdrawing my mind and giving it to the God. How long we will survive? Maybe another 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, that much. So if we think in that way, our time is very short. Those who are above 60, we cannot expect that another 40 years will survive. Even if we survive, the last 20 years will be on the bed only, depending on somebody else's help. So instead, now we are having really, if we think, we are having only 10 to 12 to 15 years. Now this still we are physically and mentally alert. And shall we also continue as we are doing the same thing? Now we were having the children, now the grandchildren, then the grandchildren's children. It goes on like that. If people like it, for them it is okay. But those who are really intelligent, for them, the Kapila is telling, like his mother, like his father was alert. He was doing just because the God asked him to do that. Then after that, he withdrew and he left. But the mother was there to look after the young boy. When the young boy became, boy became young, then the mother came and told, my son, I know that you will also leave. You don't have any attachment to the family. Now, your father has left. Daughters are married and gone. You are also planning to leave. What will happen to me? Won't you give me some advice so that I can also follow? So Kapila is giving the advice. And here he says, you should yoga adhyatmika pumsam. That is the 13th verse of the KapilaUpadesha. This is the book that you can follow, KapilaUpadesha. It is published by, it is a Tapushanandaji, one of our very senior monk. He passed away. He translated it, and it is published by the Madras Mott. And this is a separate, and in the Bhagavata itself also you will find, in the Bhagavata, 3rd Skanda, 23rd chapter, and 13th verse, it says, the Kapila is teaching his mother. Yoga adhyatmika pumsam mato nistriyasa sayame attanta parati yatra dukkhasya cha sukhasya cha. I will tell you the yoga, I will tell you the system by which you can get united with the Supreme Self, and you will be beyond. Now he uses two words, dukkha and sukha. Sukha means the happiness, but you will go beyond sukha also. And this is the philosophy. Here naturally question will come, oh my God, I want sukha, I want happiness. And if I am not getting the happiness, then what for I will go to the God and pray, meditate, do meditation, all this. I want sukha, I want happiness. But what is this happiness? He mentioned happiness that comes from the worldly objects. And it is very, very limited, very, very short period of time. The worldly objects, whenever we are having something, it is very good, and then afterwards it goes away. So all are very limited. So the God says, the Kapila says, the Vishnu in the form of Kapila, he said, I will teach you a yoga, a path, a system by which it will go beyond the misery and happiness. If you take the happiness, misery will be there. If you accept the appreciation, criticism will be there. So you cannot avoid it. The both are so close, criticism and this. So that is the way we have to think. So we don't want anything from these worldly people. And majority of our problem, he was not helping me, she was criticizing me. You see, what is our problem? If we note it down, it is somebody near us. Not that someone coming from Russia is doing problem to. No, that may be for the government people, those who are there. For me, my neighbor, and mainly my son, my daughter, my relatives, my in-laws, and my friend circle, he is good, he is not, it goes on all through life. Right from our childhood days when you start going to school, but you start like that, and all through life, if you note it down, you will find our problem is our own people. And why? Because we expected something, never got that, it was not fulfilled, expectation, so we are unhappy. The cause of unhappiness is this. So he is telling his mother, Mother, I will teach you one thing. That will help you to go beyond this problem. And what is the problem? Problem is this worldly affair, worldly thing. But these worldly things are nothing but very, very temporary. Kapila need not to say that. We understand that. Everything is so very temporary. We were born somewhere. Now we are here, far away from our birthplace. All the people, they were around us, where are they? We used to think if they are not, how we will survive. My friend, my relative, my sister, my brother, my bicycle, all those things were there. Everything has gone away. Now if someone comes and give you a bicycle, how you will think, hey, what is it? At the age of this, I will You give me a costly car, okay, that I will consider. So like that it goes. So every time we are changing our thoughts, everything is changing. And when we are sitting somewhere and thinking, so yeah, everything is changing, including my body, mind, all around us, then what is actually what we are going to get? In this place, before the construction of the temple, what it was? Just an open field. Then you people came, you purchased it and the temple. Then after 200, 300 years, we do not know what is going to happen over here. And I am associated only for 10, 15 years, 20 years. And so much of tension because I gave so much of money. I was from the beginning, I was associated. And now these people are not giving me the respect. I won't come. So much of problem. Who is creating? I only create. So that is the thing we have to understand. So temporary thing. Kapila is giving the attention to that. Now, very wonderful, he will say, Yoga Adhyatmika. Yoga means union. Union with what? Higher self. Adhyatmika, spiritual. Usually when we talk about the yoga, we always think about that physical yoga. No. Here the yoga means union. And union with what? Adhyatmika. What is that Adhyatmika? The Supreme Self. And you are going to be attached with that Supreme Self. Pumsam. Pumsam means literally it is the male. No, it is the being. It is the being, the Pumsam. Nistriyasa. Nistriyasa is the liberation. Nistriyasa, completely Sreya, completely freedom. Freedom from what? Now, tomorrow morning, I don't know what I will say, but the topic is freedom. Because it is the eve of the American freedom, that 4th of July. So 3rd July, I was thinking to talk about the freedom. So this, what is that freedom? Freedom means freedom from everything. Now different people agitating some of the I don't know much about it, but some Supreme Court gave some verdict and so many things all over America. People are agitated, ladies are, I was just before that in the morning when I was taking the tea, I opened that CNN, I saw the hundreds and thousands of people are demonstrating either in favor or against. I couldn't understand, but they are doing it. Something or other in the society, it is always there. And sometime after, it will all, people will forget all these things. It is going on. But what is the spirituality? Continuity. It never changes. Atyanta parati yatra, ultimate goal. Atyanta, ultimate. And that is the ultimate goal. What is that ultimate goal? To become that supreme joy. The ultimate goal is to become the supreme joy. I am searching for joy. I am searching for happiness. I am searching for bliss. I am searching for permanency. That is the supreme. I will reach over there, I will never die. There will be no question of suffering because that is the source of joy. We do not know exactly what for we practice spirituality. Almost all people, a very handful, they deny God, existence of God, but in a different way they try to get the joy, happiness, and that is mainly from the world. And they always temporary joy they get and they are satisfied with that. Again, they try to get as maximum squeezing, they like to get that. That is another group. But in almost all country, all people, all linguistic group, they have a religion. And what is the goal of religion? Ultimately, is a sort of a majority of the people they think, if I go to the temple, if I go to the church, if I go and pray to the God, then I will be protected. Protected from what? How God will protect you? He will give you 1,000 years long life. You're all generation after generation coming and telling goodbye. Grandpa sitting over there, and grandpa is sitting on and then going, Acha, okay, next birth we will meet you. So it goes on. Is that the life you want? The people are thinking, they are going on trying to find out a medicine by which they will remain or forever. But that is not the thing. What is the idea? If you are a drop of water, you are always afraid, I am going to become dry because of the weather, because of the sun. I do not know where I will fall. But if you fall in the ocean, that drop of water, you become the ocean. And when you become the ocean, there is no question of drying, no fear at all. An eternal existence and completely free from fear, and that is freedom. Here it says, Dukkasya cha, Sukhasya cha. And after saying this, the Kapila, then he says to his mother, he says, O pure-minded lady, anaga means impure, and anage is pure-minded, anage. O pure-minded lady, I will tell you that yoga which I preached to the rishis of the ancient time. This verse I am not quoting, I am just skipping that verse, and it is 14th verse, that I will tell you the yoga. Now the son is telling to the mother. Who came first, mother or the son? Son, a mother. So the mother, how come the son is telling the mother, I will tell you the yoga which I told the rishis. This is the first time you are talking. And I am the first disciple before you, the mother is thinking. I am the first person listening from you, and how come you gave this instruction to the rishis? It indicates the eternal existence of God. Now, her son, Devahuti is the name of the mother, Devahuti's son Kapila. But the Kapila is not ordinary person. So, indicating that before giving the advice, the son is giving the hint. I taught this yoga to the rishis. All these things I told to the rishis. That means continuity of the knowledge and eternal existence, one after another. This is the incarnation. That's why the Hindus, they believe in different life. Buddhists also they believe. The incarnation, one after another. If we are thinking good, doing good, then what will happen? We will be in a higher life. One after another. That is for sure. Whether we understand it or not, if your thought is positive, good, not hurting others, physically also you are not doing anything wrong by which people are or the other beings are hurt. Kaya, mana, bhakya, and through words also you are not hurting others. Then what will happen? By that way you are accumulating good karma. And that good karma will help you to get better life. This has been proved by Lord Buddha. He said, I born before this becoming Buddha, I was 500 times. I was in different life. I was as a pigeon, I was a lion, I was an elephant, I was the son of this, I was son of that. So like that 500 is called Jataka story, very fascinating stories. The 500 times. But every life he wanted to help others. Even as a bird, he wanted to help the other birds. So that is the story. And it shows that we must try to help others through three actions, through physically and through thought and also through words. I'm physically helping and in mentally I'm criticizing those people. No, that is also bad. No hypocrisy. Whatever I think and I do and I say, these three. And these three, when it becomes one, then you generate good action and you go to better. But this is God, Avatara. Avatara, he is God, he is pure. So it is not like us. And now he is telling in the 15th verse, he is telling, Cheta khalu tasya baddhaya mukta echa atmano matam guneshu saktam baddhaya ratam va pumsi muktaye. If the mind is attached to the gunas, Cheta khalu, khalu means surely. Khalu, the word, sometimes you'll find they uses the word khalu, surely, giving that stress on that. Truly I am telling you. What is that? Baddhaye muktaye cha atmano matam. How? Gunesu saktam baddhaya and ratam vapumsi muktaye. Now, if the mind is attached to the worldly objects, then that is baddha. Baddha means bound. And what is that bound? You have to come back again and again in this life. Again and again, because you are dissatisfied. You wanted to have some dosa. You couldn't get that dosa before death. You have to come back in this life. Truly, it is not that just fun. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, even little, whatever the desire, if you all should burn and satisfied, and then finally you must say, I don't have any desire. Even a little desire like that, no desire at all. Whatever comes before me, I am happy with that. If people are praising, okay. And criticizing, it is okay. Giving good food, it is okay. Not getting, it is okay. That completely, I don't want anything from this. And that is called mukti. How it is possible? Again, the God incarnated to give some analysis. And what is the analysis? All these things that we see, that we hear, that we smell, that we touch, that we taste, all the 5 organs, all the experiences that we are having are all temporary. When you go on repeating these again and again in my mind, then I become disgusted. I say, okay, I don't want. Now, some people, those who have already visited, say, different places, and suppose the people are coming from outside, they like to visit the Chicago and the building and maybe the Navy Pier and all that, but you have gone so many times. And if they come to us, hey, they're excited because this is the first time they like to go. And we will go to Navy Pier, we'll spend the whole day over there. Oh my God, it is a scorching sun. So who is going over there? You say, okay, no problem, you please go. Now we will also take you. No, not necessary. I'm fine. Why? Because we have already experienced. And you understood what actually we are going to get that in the Navy Pier. Everything is okay. So the experience, after experiencing, when you are withdrawing the mind, enough is enough. By that way also, that's all karma. You have to perform action. And then you should become inaction. If you have not done anything, you will never get. The desire will be always there. Those who have not visited Navy Pier, and the advertisement that all the time the government will give, unless you are visiting the Navy Pier in Chicago, half of your life is lost. You must go. That is a beautiful place. So many food plazas there, these, that. Now, naturally, you are developing the desire. Okay, you go, you enjoy, and then at least after enjoying, you should say enough. And those who are very intelligent, in the beginning they will say, no, enough. Because I have seen these people. They have all visited that place. And again, they are the same old person. Then what is the use of going over there? It is not necessary. So they are farther intelligent. They don't like to experience at all because they learn from the scripture. The scripture, that will teach you that these are things that you find are all temporary. And we believe those words of the experienced people. When they say we believe, that is called Guru. The 13th July is the Guru Purnima. What is that Guru? Experienced person. And he says, look, my boy, these are the things are so temporary. Even if you get it, it is of no joy, it is nothing. Unnecessarily, you are thinking you are enjoying. You are not really. So by that way, when people after the experience, they think this is the thing. And sometimes some people listening to them, they learn, they are more intelligent, and then they withdraw the mind. Ultimately, you have to withdraw the mind from the objects. Enough is enough. All this, the Navy Pier and these and that, all the places I have already visited, is a good place, but not for me, it's okay. So you are withdrawing. Then what will happen? Your mind is withdrawn from some activity. But you have to give something to the mind. It is negative. No, no, no. That is in the Vedanta say, neti, neti, neti. No iti. Not this, not this, not this. I don't want this, I don't want this. I don't want this. Where you are going? Then ultimately you go someplace, somewhere in the mind where you are satisfied completely. So, where it is? In the good qualities. When you are withdrawing the mind, automatically it is searching some other place. The mind is very peculiar. It cannot remain alone. It needs the company. If you are withdrawing the mind from the objects, where it will go? You have to give some. And that is why Hindus, they develop, not only Hindus, almost all the religion, they ask, do japa. The japa, the repetition of the God's name. Buddhists, they are going on. And the Muslims also they do. Christians, they also do. Hindus, so many ways they are doing the japa. Constantly they are doing the japa. What is that japa? Putting the mind in action. Disassociating from the worldly things. Those who take initiation, they are confused. And sometimes people are afraid. They are thinking, what will happen if we take do the mantra, then shall I become a monk like you? No, there is no question. And then shall I have to stop taking this food, that food, or wearing this dress, that dress? In the Ramakrishna mission, it is nothing like that. Some of the places they do, just to impress people, that is not necessary. Nothing outside, whether you put on this dress or not, doesn't matter. It is the mind, it is your thought. So we always give the stress on your thought. Mind is nothing but thought. So we say thought. And what is that thought? If it is attached with the worldly things, it is impure. If it is detached from the worldly things, it is pure. Whether you are drinking Ganges water or not, whether you are visiting temple or not. That's why Hindus are very peculiar. If a Hindu is not visiting temple all through his life, he is a Hindu. There is no problem. Why? Because mentally he is good. He is helping people. He is praying for others and detached. He is a very good person. Not that you have to go to the temple and then these, nothing like that. So Hindus, and sometimes some people they ask, how can I become a Hindu? Just to think that you are Hindu, you are Hindu. So this is broadness. Why? Because there is no conversion. Do's and don'ts, the list of you should not do this, you should do this, nothing like that. Only three things they will say: don't hurt others. Through action, through word, and even through thought. Don't do that. You are a Hindu. So this is the way, if we can think, we'll understand, is so vast and broad. And it's not converting. We are giving them, elevating them to a higher and higher mind, higher thoughts. That is exactly, it says, Baddha. What is that Baddha? In spiritual way, what is that bound? When your mind is attached with the world. And what is the worldly things? Ego. Suppose I am having this building. Oh, you are a Baddha. No, not like that. Then shall I have to leave all my earth and home? No. That was a wrong conception again. Some people, they thought in that way in the Buddhism, and thousands, they left the hearth and home. They were on the streets. All they took up the saffron, the cloth, and they were not ready in mind. So they brought down the ideology. Now, it is not necessary at all. Those who can do that, it is okay. But for you, you are not attached to this. I am successful businessman. Of course, that quality I am having, capacity I am having, intellect that I am having, and I am successful. I am helping so many people. That is also good. And at the end, I know I am not going to take anything of it. I will leave it over here. And I will give it to the other people. That's all. So when you are doing that, even by that also, you are highly spiritual people. Rupa, Sanatana, they are two brothers. They were there at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, nearly 500 years before Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And they were the ministers of the Nawab, the Muslim ruler. The Muslim ruler, the ministers were Hindu. And they used to live like naturally, they were the ministers, they used to live in the grand way. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to love them very much. So people around Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they started doubting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says that the poverty, austerity, and purity, but look at that. He is always so happy with those two. When they are coming, he is so happy. They were doubting. One day, when they came to meet the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they came sitting on the elephant. In those days, that was and they came in like a royal way they came. And they got down. And when they came at the feet of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were crying like babies. Their whole, that dress, and profusely they are crying. And what they said, Lord, when you are going to give us the permission to give up all this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told them, you should be there and continue this. Why? Because if we understand the social condition, the Muslims were ruling. So obviously, we can understand the Hindus were not in good condition. And if these two Hindu, whom the Muslim ruler believed so much, if they are there, they will be always giving him good advices. So obviously, Hindus will not be tortured by them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very intelligent. He told, be there, but completely detached. When the time will come, I will ask you to come back. Think of the power of those two. That's why they are considered very high spiritual soul, these two brothers. So wherever we are, it doesn't matter. If we are sitting on the road and then I am spiritual, as because I am not having anything. So all the homeless people are spiritual. No. Those who are having the wealth also, they may be spiritual. Why? So we have to understand the scripture, no attachment to the worldly things. That is very important. I may be there, but I am not attached to this. When the mind is free from the impurities, that is lust and greed, generated by the sense of ego, it attains purity and becomes free from suffering. Aham mama abhimano thoi kama lobhadi bhi malaihi bitam yata mana shuddham adukkam asukam samam. In the 16th verse it says, Aham mama, I and me. That is the bondage. Aham and mama. Whole world is me and mine, me and mine. They are so happy. I heard the two ladies, elderly ladies, they were talking. And both of them, they were talking about their grandchildren. And none was ready to listen. They don't have patience to listen about the others. They were so eager to tell about her, the grandchild. Oh, you cannot imagine, he's so good, he can paint, he can write, he can recite, and it's so joy, full of joy. That's good. But no patience to listen to the other one. So it goes on like this, me and mine, me and mine. That is also another child. Try to appreciate that also, but no. So this is the problem. So me and mine goes into that extent. Only me and mine, good. Others, I don't care. That is not. So spiritual people, they go into that. And this abhimano thui, that is the egocentric. And kama lobhadi vihi. Lobhadi vihi. Etc. That means others are there. Kama is last, and lobha, the greed. When I want something, and naturally I become greedy to get that. So kama and lobha. I don't want anything, so what is my problem? Now many people, they are thinking that they will become the president of America someday. Those who are in the politics, naturally they can think. For me, there is no problem. Those who are not thinking to become like that, there is no problem, no tension, and nothing like that. Anyone becoming a good leader, we are happy. And when he is sick, we are praying to God. He's a good man, very good leader. And oh God, please save him so that he will guide us properly. See how broad the mind? The moment we are not attached, we don't have desire to become. But his enemy, who is vying for that seat, will go to the same God praying, God, enough, take him. So he's a nice man, take him to your place, and so that I can become president. Because the desire, the same prayer, the one who is not having the desire, his prayer or her prayer, and one who is having the desire, their prayer are completely different. Why? Desire. One is no desire, another having the desire, the prayer are completely different. Someone gave me a card, and what is that? Then I found that they are going to marry, and that will be maybe another 1 or 2 months after. And they told Maharaj, write it on the top that this is the day they are going to marry, and I am giving this card as a reminder. You should pray for them on that particular day. I told, okay, no problem. I kept it on my table. So every day I check that I should not forget. I gave the word, so I will pray. That much I can do. Prayer. For whom I am praying, I don't know. I never met them, I never saw them. But still I am sincerely, I will pray. Why? Because that is my dharma. That is my practice. And as the one who is in the family, they will also be praying for their daughter, for the granddaughter, for all relatives, son, etc. I am also doing the same thing. I am also praying. But not for me and mine. This is for anyone. So that is aham mama. This is the abhimana. This is the ego. And that generates kama and lobha. And that is impurities. What is the malaihi? Mala means impurities. This lust and desire and the greed. That is the mala. Bitam yada mana shuddham. Bitam means when you can give that up, your mind is purified. Now spirituality is possible when your mind is purified. Impure mind cannot reach to God. Now these are very clear. Purity, impurity. Now on that purity and impurity, some people, they go on giving different type of instructions. You have to go and bathe 3 times, then you have to mark over here the red or sometime white or on these, and then you have to put this type of dress, you should be barefooted, and you will find all different type of things are going on. Why? Purity. Unless you are bare body in some of the temples in South India, They won't allow you to go into the temple unless you are bare body. Why that is bare body? What is necessary? Suppose I am having a shirt on that. What is the problem? The God knows that it is me. Shall I have to show? No. Why? They don't know. In the beginning, some people, because it is the weather is very hot, warm, so naturally they feel like that. But you have to be. Then it has become a tradition. You are impure if you are putting on a shirt. So that is the very peculiar condition. But they will go on like that. That is this is tradition. Then what is the tradition mean? So that is why the Lord himself came as a philosopher. So important. So we become always bound by some of our practices. The one lady, young lady, she got married, and when she was going to in-laws' house, her mother told, see, from now onwards, you have to follow everything of your in-laws. So everything very intelligently you should observe what is happening all around, what they do, what are their practices, and you have to practice that. Forget about us. So naturally, that lady, when she was entering into the main building, she saw a black cat is tied by a rope in the right-hand side window. She noticed it and kept it in her mind. So when the newly married couples are entering into the house, a black cat should be bound on the right-hand side window. Now she became the mother. Her son was married. Then the newly married couples are coming, but there is no black cat. And what to do? And there is no window on the right side of the door, because that is the old house. In the new house. So she told, no, it is our tradition. So they had to break that wall and put a window over there. They had to go and purchase a black cat and a piece of rope, tied that black cat over that. Then she was very satisfied. I have practiced the tradition of my in-laws' house. And this is a tradition. Very foolish though, but it goes on like this. So this is the way we continuously think, oh, we are traditional people, we are doing this and that. Is it really helping others? That's why our scripture is very clear. Whether you are putting on the dress or not, whether you are eating this or not, whether you are male or female, whether you are educated or uneducated, it doesn't matter at all. Whether your mind is attached to the worldly objects or not, full of ego or not, that is the question. If the ego is there, you are impure. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, sometimes those who have read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, you must have noticed that some people used to come to meet him in the Dakshineshwar, and after they left that place, Sri Ramakrishna used to sprinkle Ganga water on that particular place. Oh, they came so egoistic person, their presence has impured that place. And he will never allow other young disciples to go and talk to that person. Don't mix with him. So much ego. And that is the reason. Impurity is the ego. So we have to avoid that. And when the mind becomes pure, then what happens? Then it says, in the 17th and 18th verse, I think we'll be able to read, but we'll explain it in our next class. Tada purusha atmanam kevalam prakritiramam nirantaram sayam yoti animanam akhanditam jnana vairagya yuktena bhakti yuktena cha atmana paripashya udasinam prakritincha Hatojasam. This is the 17 and 18. Tada Purusha, then that the jiva, that particular soul, Atmanam only, Prakriti Param. They only see what happens when the mind is pure. They see the Atman, which is beyond the everything. Prakriti Param. Prakriti is the manifestation. Param, beyond that manifestation. What is there beyond the manifestation? that they see all the time. And that is so joyful. Suppose you see within your heart your God or goddess all the time. Whenever you are sleeping, you find that the God or goddess is just sitting by your side and so pleasing their presence, so joyful. Even in the dream, you will enjoy their company. And those whose mind is completely pure, they enjoy the company of that God or goddess all the time. That happens when the mind is pure. Nirantaram sayam yoti animanam akhanditam. Nirantaram is eternal. Sayam yoti, self-luminous. And it is subtle. Anima, lagima, the ani means subtle. It is very subtle. Not that grossly you will find. You will feel that joy. Animanam akhanditam, indivisible. Is a half pattern, nothing like that. It's a complete. Then he says, Jnana Vairagya Yuktena Bhakti Yuktena Cha Atmana. Then giving the how to get it. Jnana Vairagya Bhakti. Now bhakti, devotion, jnana, knowledge, is combined. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, for this yuga, for this time, one should not practice, this way didn't say, should not. He said, very difficult to practice pure knowledge. Very difficult to practice pure bhakti. Mix the jnana and bhakti. So the Narada also says, jnana misra bhakti. I love God. But why? Because God is all pervading. God is everywhere. Sometimes some people, they think God is only this much. They are limiting the God. Who are they? Are they more powerful than the God? They are limiting the God. God can never become that. Sometimes the devotees, some people will say, in our temple it is, I really appreciate the Hindu temple. Because all gods and goddesses are there. In some temple, only one God will be there and they don't believe in other. They'll say, only this God is there and no nothing. So it is better not to go over there because they are blasphemous. They are not thinking that God is all powerful. God can manifest anywhere, anytime. Why not? The moment you say God cannot manifest as a lady, as a mother, I am limiting his power. I am more powerful than the God, I am limiting his power. That cannot be. So this is why they say, so jnana and vairagya. What is vairagya? Giving away. What is the giving away? All these worldly things. And mainly name and fame. That comes from the ego. I give up. Then what is jnana? God is everywhere. What is bhakti? I can't understand God everywhere. Though I know, I believe that God is everywhere, but I don't have the capacity to see God everywhere. So I think God is only Rama. God is only Krishna. I think in that way. Nothing wrong in it. I think that God is only Omkara. I think that God is only the Lakshmi. No problem in it. So that is the way that is called the Ishta Nishtha. Ishta means I choose my ideal and I want the God to be like that. I pray to God. You are everywhere, I know. You are all powerful, I know. But I like to see you as a little baby and child so that I can care you. You will be on my lap, I will feed you, I will dress up you, I will play with you. As a mother, I like to be like. That's why in Hinduism, a God is the baby. And many ladies, they will be so happy having the baby Krishna or baby Rama. They will be singing the songs because of the motherly affection. They like it so much. In Hindu temple, in the Krishna temple, there is a jhola is there. And they are supposed to, the string is there. So when you are thinking that it will be doing like this, the baby Krishna is very happy sitting on that. The one person came, he is not having that devotion, and not at all the care for the motherly affection. So he was pulling it so tight. I told him, you are not supposed to do like that. A child is there. Is not the supreme God. It is a child. And you'll be afraid. Why you are pulling so hard? Forget about it. You just bow down and go away. It is mothers they will do. It needs lot of affection, lot of love, lot of care for the child. God is there, but it is child God. And unless I love that God, and who will love him? The beautiful conception in the Hinduism. So the mother's love that pour on that baby Krishna, though he is all powerful. That Sri Rama, the baby Rama, that's also very nicely, their songs are there. So that he is telling, Jnana Vairagya Yuktena Bhakti Yuktena. We will explain it in the next class again. We will start from here. And then the wonderful, they will say, the Lord will say, you should have the sadhu sangha. And that only will help you, the holy person, company of a holy person. But who is the holy person? Everybody claims that I am holy. But you have to be careful. Who are the holy? The Lord himself is giving all the... And those who are trying to be holy, they should also be careful whether these qualities are manifesting in me or not. Those who are trying to become monk, they should read it. So we leave it over here. Do you have any question on this? Yeah?
The scripture you're reading, is it Sanskrit? The scripture you're reading, is it Sanskrit?
No. This is Vaishnava. You're asking Tantric, right?
No,
Sanskrit.
Sanskrit, of course. Sanskrit.
Is it Sanskrit?
Sanskrit, but you will have the English also, meaning also there. English meaning is also there.
Can I ask another question?
Yes, sure.
How about, is truth reality truth? Like you said, we have to guard our speech. Let's say if let's say your mother do something wrong, do we have to tell her she's wrong? Truth, like.
I couldn't. So.
If mother is doing something wrong, should we be able to tell mother you are doing wrong?
Yeah. Correct.
Oh, that is it. See, the way I am telling my mother that this is not good, that depends. Mother can scold the baby child, but the dad cannot scold the mother. But there you have to be very careful handling the mother, because it is your mother. Now we hear here the son, Kapila, though the God himself, but when he is dealing with the mother with great respect, love, and then he says, mother, you should not do this, this is all changed. You should behave like this, you should talk like this. This is the way we can help her to change. Of course we can do, and we must do. Otherwise, in the modern society, it will be very difficult. Sometimes the mothers, our mothers coming from India, they don't know English, they don't understand all these places, they will be very different. So we have to very carefully tell them that in this country it is like this, it is like that. You know that mainly in our country, they don't touch anything through left hand, it is always through right hand. Then when you are touching the feet of the holy person, right hand. You are holding the glass to drink, right hand. So whatever you are doing through right hand. But here most of the people, left, right, both they can use. Sometimes they are offering flower in the left hand all that. So they naturally, the reaction will be, oh my God, giving the flower to God in the left hand. So we have to tell this is, they don't understand left or right, that is okay. They are using the hands only. Slowly, slowly you have to tell. Of course we can rectify the defects of the mothers for their betterment, but the way we should do should not hurt her. That is the main thing. Thank you. Any other question you have? Okay, so, You like to ask any question?
No.
So let me say the Shanti 3 times and we conclude. Let us say Shanti 3 times. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat.